So we should take a break. I've been thinking this over. Call it a compromise.
Hello everyone, I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions. I'm here on the Riverwalk in Calgary, Canada, and today I'm bringing you part 4, the final part in my series of interviews with Philip B. from Exodus Desktop Wallet. We pretty much wrap everything up here and talk a little bit about what the long-term goals of Exodus Wallet are and what that might look like in the future. And I hope you do enjoy this. If you haven't seen the other videos, be sure to check in the links down below to check out parts 1 through 3. Without further ado, here's the interview with Phil from Exodus. All right. So what I want to dive into lastly here is kind of moving forward for you guys. So let's just touch on last year, because 2017 was insane for cryptocurrency as a whole. Yeah. How did the craziness of 2017, in particular November and December, impact what you guys were doing at Exodus?
I think it made them realize that we needed to, they had a great support team then. I think we have we've all grown. Those that were here during that time are now mentors to the people that came in after that. There was a lot of learning that went on. There were mistakes made that, we were able to learn from and better our company from there. A lot of new systems in place to make sure that we stay on top of our support and stay on top of our exchange partners in times of high volume. And like going forward from there, we were able to, now that it's slowed down a bit, we were really able to compartmentalize a little bit and say, okay, these are the things that we really need to work on. These are the types of, this is the type of feedback we need from our customers. This is where we should be really applying our focus. So when that does happen again, we're set and we're ready. And yeah, we're really, really focused right now on just finding out what everyone wants from us so we can make sure that that's there for them when the next market comes. And for you, that's SegWit, so I hope that we have that for you in the near future. Yeah. People with some coins or hardware wallet support and stuff like that. And these are all things that are on our whiteboard and that we have active discussions about. And I can tell you that all the suggestions and questions that came in on Twitter today, those are not unheard. I'm
glad you mentioned it, but I did hear hardware wallet support in there somewhere. So that's on your radar somewhere.
It's definitely on the radar and being talked about. We don't have anything in the works at the moment, but that is an active discussion with us at Exodus, because with any desktop wallet, your funds are only as safe as the computer that you keep it on. And we understand that there's a certain set of the community that will never use a desktop or a software wallet for anything, that they're strictly hardware wallet users. And even if that were to become a niche thing, I think that it'll always have a place because of the physical device. You're holding a Bitcoin or you're holding your coins. You can show someone that. So yeah, that's something that we've tossed around. We get a lot of suggestions from customers for that. And it goes back into how do we make that to where the user experience is still the same as it is with Exodus, or the same standard. And how would the user interface be? Like, how would that actually all work together? And not compromise the integrity of the security of the hardware wallet when doing that. So yeah, there's a lot to think about, but it's definitely on the whiteboard of discussion.
Cool. Now, we were talking about 2017 and how that impacted you guys. My next question was, how does the shift in market sentiment from a total mania to, well, it's a bear market right now, right? And so there's not as much craziness around. Do you guys notice anything in particular? Like, is there still as much demand to add this coin and that coin, or has the dynamic changed a little bit for you guys and what you're focusing on? How has that affected Exodus, if at all?
I would say that we still receive a good amount of requests. Support is definitely down because there are a lot less people trading and a lot less people that are active in the market. a lot more speculation and just holding, I would say. So it hasn't affected us in that sense, but it's affected us positively in the sense that kind of what I was just talking about, where now we're really able to work on like us as a team and identify the areas that we need to do better and start working on doing a better job in those areas. Via getting feedback from customers and from users and supporters of the wallet, as well as those that don't like the wallet for certain reasons. Like their input is just as valuable to me because I need to know why you don't like it and why you won't use it. So we can try and add those things to the wallet to appeal to you and make it a wallet for everyone.
Awesome. Now, in the coming years, let's say the next 4 or 5 years, what do you see as one of your biggest challenges moving forward and one of your biggest goals? I guess those could be one and the same, or they could be different, but what do you guys see as your challenges and goals for the future?
I think our challenges, well, our goal is to continuing offering the same level of support and service while adding more features and assets to the wallet. You know, we really want to grow the Exodus experience, you could say, to offer the things that everyone wants. So that's our main goal, I would say, to continue to expand the way that we are right now. Let's see, that was goals. What else did you ask me? I apologize.
What big challenges do you have coming forward? Like, is there anything that you see as like, wow, that's going to take some effort to navigate?
Big challenges, I would say, are really just staying on top of all the changes in the ecosystem, and that's always a challenge. You know, we support so many assets now that you have on any given week a few ERC20 tokens that are going to move to mainnet, or you have, you know, contract migrations or hard forks on networks to where it requires us to make changes. Staying up to date with the ecosystem, I think is usually the biggest challenge, and just staying on top of everything so that our customers aren't impacted by any of these changes on the technical side. I think another challenge for us will be to,
There's a lot to keep up with, I know.
Yeah. You know, just to continue staying on top of our game. You know, we know that there's some areas that we've failed on, and those are the things we really want to make sure don't happen in the future. And again, it goes back to why we're so support based, and why I'm really trying to find out what people want and where we failed in their eyes, as well as what we do great. So that way we know we have the full spectrum of, we love this, we love that, but you guys need this, or you guys need that. And we're really working hard at achieving those goals for people. And that'll probably be the biggest challenge, just staying on top of what everyone wants and trying to make everyone happy.
Yeah. Well, it's almost impossible to always make everybody happy, right? But you know, it's a lofty goal, but yeah, exactly. You got to try, right? And I always try to close out with one final question here. It can be as broad or as specific as you want. But my question, I guess, for you personally, what does the creation of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency represent to yourself?
So one thing that really made me become a strong believer in the future of Bitcoin itself, more than any other cryptocurrency, was when I was selling things online. I had an eBay store, and this is when PayPal was a new thing, and PayPal actually froze my funds because of the amount of things I was selling. So then I really started looking into what Bitcoin was and seeing if the people that I was selling to would take Bitcoin instead. So the idea of having this money that was uncensorable, I could send to anyone I wanted to, anyone in the world, and no one could stop me or say anything about it, was the real like eye opener for me. Because before that, I just thought of it as like gaming tokens on the internet. You know, when I first started using, I'm like, okay, these websites accept internet money, cool. But then when it really clicked, when you have that moment when it just like clicks for you, and I started reading, different Bitcoin forums at the time and news sites, and reading the white paper, of course. And, once you really get engulfed in it, you either fall down the rabbit hole and you are one that is a firm believer, and this is world and life-changing technology that everyone can use to be financially free and sovereign, or you kind of get turned off to it. And for me, I think that I completely fell down the rabbit hole, and then I wanted to tell everyone about it, which then I was a crazy Bitcoin guy, and my friends and family, and then until last year. And then last year, then you're all of a sudden you're a financial guru, and they think you have, all the advice in the world for them.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I really do believe that if you just look at from how far it's come from when it first was its inception to now, it's gone, miles and miles at just the amount of people that use it and talk about it, and apparel and services and restaurants and payment systems. And there's so many things that are being developed and that are actually out there. It's just that we're such a small group of people that are so enthusiastic and excited about it that we don't realize that the rest of the world really doesn't know that it's there. So I think that after it's easy to use and goes mainstream, I think that's the biggest thing, user experience. Once there's a good user experience for everything crypto, I think people will use it a lot more. But because it doesn't just work like how your banking app does, or I think Cash App will do a great job with that. Apps like that where you can send people Bitcoin via their cash tags and things. I think that's great for adoption. Because it makes it easy and it makes it relatable. You're used to just using Venmo, and now you have Cash App. You can send cash or Bitcoin. And I think things like that will help out a ton. And yeah, I really see it going that direction where it'll run parallel, and you'll still have a fiat financial legacy system, but there will be a connection with the crypto world and Bitcoin to where we're able to easily use that in traditional finance and our everyday life.
Yeah. Awesome. The best is yet to come, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you're helping spread that right now with the ATMs. I mean, that's
well, great. And I've got to say, your user interface, that's one of the moments that I looked at and I said, okay, well, this is what it's going to look like when everybody starts using this stuff. And I've got to say that has held up as far as it being friendly enough and new people coming on and going, oh, I'll use this because it makes sense to me, and it doesn't, I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah.
So I will say I will commend you guys for that. And I'm excited for SegWit too. Philip, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show. I do really appreciate your time. I'm glad that we could chat about everything Exodus, what's going on with you guys. And feel free to come back anytime.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Benny. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and have me back anytime.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody watching, if you're curious about Exodus Wallet, I, of course, have links down below. I'll put in some Twitter handles and everything else so that you guys can check out everything that we talked about this time. Phil, thanks a lot.
Yep, thanks, Benny.
Cheers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, drop a tip if you're able to, and share this video. Also, if you'd like to help the show in another way, there are links down below to grab yourself a hardware wallet to help secure your crypto. I'll see you guys next time on the BTC Sessions.